Hey guys, it's the mayor of 2K here on NBA 2K26. Just wanted to come to you real quick with a video about some build making and also some player face creations, which is what this series is going to be about here on Rage and Rondo's YouTube channel. And just wanted to touch base with you here on my Russell Westbrook build. Now, the thing about NBA 2K26, and for anybody watching this, obviously you're a fan of 2K. I just really don't think the 6'3 to 6'4, 6'5 builds are really that viable this year, and definitely not anything smaller than that. So it's hard to make a Russell Westbrook build. I'm very meticulous, OCD, all of that kind of stuff about everything being perfect. So I'm going a little outside my comfort zone with this build because I'm not going to make it 6'3 or 6'4, which is what the Russell Westbrook height is. But I feel like to really make a Russell Westbrook build that's going to play like a prime Russell Westbrook or close to it on NBA 2K26 is you're going to have to make him bigger because of the rebounding and all that kind of stuff. You're just not going to be able to be a triple double threat with this build, having a 6'3 or 6'4 build in NBA 2K26. So in this particular situation, I'm going 6'7". Now, I feel like on the court he still looks he doesn't look gigantic. He doesn't look like he's out of place. I don't think you can really even tell that he's a 6'7" build. And I went 205, and the reason is because I want the body type on this build to be stocky. It looks just like Russell Westbrook's body type when you're playing in the rec or the park or wherever you take this build to. So it just works perfectly. So that's why I went 205. And I'm also very much in favor of max to close max wingspan builds. I just think, for my play style, anyways, I just think they perform better. You can obviously tweak it to your liking, but in this particular situation, I'm going 6'7", 205, and that 7'1" wingspan. And I've set the build up this way, and I'm keeping in mind I currently have 11 cap breakers. Currently, I'll end up having 13 here in the next couple weeks, probably, with the season 4 plus another cap breaker that I'm going to be getting in the rep rewards. So this build is based on anywhere between that 10 to 15 cap breakers, which I'm assuming a lot of you probably have. And even still, if you don't have those cap breakers, you can still make this build to be pretty effective with even a little bit less. And so with this particular situation, I go close shot 80. As you can see on the finishing, as we'll start there, driving layup 90. I pair that with a 75 strength because I like gold fearless finisher on this particular build. As you can see here, the physical finisher build on gold. You can max +1 that to get Hall of Fame, or even max +2 it to get to Legend. I currently run it on a max +1 with the Russell Westbrook build that I have, which is identical to this, and it is the one that I was playing with in the previous video that's on the channel. If you haven't checked that out, go back and take a look at it. You can see the gameplay and all that kind of stuff and how this build really performs even in random rec, playing the point guard position. I go driving dunk 55. The reason I do that is because you'll see in a moment, and I pair that with a 60 block. Now, I'm going to be able to get the block up crazy using cat breakers and the driving dunk up crazy using cat breakers as well, and you'll see that as we go to the next step. The standing dunk at 65, also going to be able to get that up using cat breakers. I like the standing dunk to be a little bit higher, and it will be on the completion of this build. Mid-range, now moving over to shooting, I go 87 for mid-range and 80 for a 3-ball. I just like my free throw being high, especially as a random reg player, getting those extra points shooting free throws. Plus, it doesn't really cost a lot, so I always have high free throw. You can certainly tweak that if you want it to go down, but I mean, even if you go way down here, I mean, you're really not going to get a lot out of it. Maybe put your ball handle up or free three-pointer up 1 or something like that. You can tweak that to your liking, but for this purpose, I have it at 98. For playmaking, I go pass accuracy 92 on this build. Russell Westbrook is a triple-double threat, so you want to be able to have that playmaking on this build. The 92 definitely gets you Hall of Fame dimer. You can plus that to get Legend if you want to. You don't really need it this year for people that are making shots really without that, but it is the option. Ball handles an 85. I mean, if you want the ankle breaker to go to silver, you can take the free throw down a little bit and put that ball handle up to 86. Speed with ball at 80. The main reason that I have the speed with ball at 80 on this build, even at 6'7", is because I like blur. And to get blur take over. You got to have that 80 speed with ball, so it's pretty important. You're going over to defense. I put 60 interior defense on this build. I just like having that. You'll have paint patroller on the build to kind of run around and get in the way, block some shots and stuff like that. Once you see what I do with the block with the cap breakers here in a moment. Perimeter defense is at an 80. I think that's good enough for me. Once again, you can make that higher if you would like. And the steel being at a 60, just gives you that interceptor on bronze. Once again, you can, max plus 1 or 2 that and get it all the way up to gold if you so choose. Here's what makes this build a little bit different is the rebounding. Like I said, if you make this build at 6'3", at 6'4", which in this series, most every build that I make or that I bring to you, the height's going to be the thing, the weight, everything is going to be that. This is really the only build that kind of goes outside of that just for this purpose, to have the rebounding. I like having the gold box out beast. And then, for this build, I put rebound chaser up to gold with a max plus 1. It really helps you. You're going to get, if you're a decent rebounder, you're going to get, 7, 8, 9, 10, even sometimes more than that rebounds with this build playing in the rec. And then for the physicals, speed, agility, strength, and vertical are what they are. I'm going to use cap breakers as well to get the vertical up, and you'll see that here in a moment. But that's what this build looks like at that. Obviously, with it being 6'7", you're not going to get the Russell Westbrook shades, but Magic, Luka, and Kate are pretty good comparisons or shades of. And mid-paint playmaking cleaner is the build name, but it also will change here in a moment once you get to the cap breakers.
Okay, I don't need yes men right now. I need you to be honest.
So we're going to get through this part here. I'll show you the final because I have this build. I believe I'm a 96. I believe I'm a 96 on this Russell Westbrook build. With my OCD guys, the first thing that I do is I go in and I put this to stocking. You're going to see that here. And then you'll see the face creation here as well. I immediately go here because I think it looks better with the short shorts. But this is my Russell Westbrook build with the face creation that I'll go over with you. Probably do a part 2 to this and give you the Russell Westbrook face creation, but I think it looks pretty spot on. It's definitely, out of all the ones that I've seen people try to post on YouTube, I think, not trying to sound arrogant or anything, but I think this is by far the best one that you'll find. And then here's where you kind of get all the stuff. If you see here, I have the finishing on this completed, so I always do this, and you can get the extra 2 for that, and you'll have that here in a second. But that'll pop up with the extra 2. So right off the bat, the driving dunk, you're going to get plus 32 to your driving dunk. Now keep in mind, you have to have your block at 60 and you have to have your driving dunk at 55 to take advantage of this. If you move the block up at all, the driving dunk goes down to plus 1s across the board, so it has to mirror that. Other stuff in this build, you can tweak it to what you want, but you can't mess with that to get the cap breakers to set up this way. And so your driving dunk is going to end up being an 87. So just by using 5 cap breakers, you're going to go from a 55 to an 87. I think that is a very, very value-saving type of thing on this type of build. I also use a cap breaker on my standing dunk to go to a 73. I like things being even, but in this situation, you can't really do that. You got to have the standing dunk, driving dunk mirror up there at the 55 and 65. And then your standing dunk goes to 73. Does get you rise up on bronze. I just like having that. Plus it gives you a couple extra animations for standing dunk. This all stays the same here. And then you go over here to your block. I put 3 on my block to go from a 60 to a 78 right off the bat. That gives you silver chase down. It gives you the interior there as well for that. So you have a 78 block. And then I use 2 cap breakers down here on my vertical to go to an 80. So you're going to go 5 cap breakers right here to go to an 87. Then you're going to go 3 cap breakers here to go to a 78. You're going to go 2 cap breakers here to get to an 80. And then you're going to go 1 cap breaker right here to get your standing dunk to a 73. That's how I set it up. Now that's at 11. Once I unlock the 12 and 13, I don't know where I'm going to go. I might use it on standing dunk. I might go more vertical. I might go more block. I could even go to pass if I want to get, 93, 94 in that pass range, but on this build, not really necessary. So this is that build. And as you see here, I'll back out real quick and go to the actual one that I have. And after you set it up like that, you're going to get a rim reaping mid paint pilot build name. And to kind of just show you where it's at, this is how it sets up after the fact to kind of show you the where I'm at with the build. And it's a really fun build. I don't play point guard really that much in the rec. I am a point guard, but more from that power forward center spot. I'm going to average 8 to 10 assists in the rec. That's just how I play. That's just my game. I like to get everybody involved, but I don't really run the point necessarily. But it is fun running the point with this build at 6'7". I think it gives you a tremendous advantage over most point guards. You've got great layup, you've got great dunk, your finishing is going to be fantastic. With an 87 mid-range and 83 ball, really going to be able to shoot. You've got great free throw there. You got your passing, ball handling, speed with ball. All of that is really good. Your perimeter defense is good. You got blocking, you've got rebounding, you've got the physicals there. And so for the Russell Westbrook build, this is where I'm at. Hopefully there'll be a lot more videos like this to come. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And look forward to part 2, where I'll give you the actual Russell Westbrook face creation. See you guys.